Hello again, everybody, and this is the chair. I guess you could say part two, but I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that we're doing the NFL season preview of 2019. Good lord! And if you saw the last video, we did the AFC North. Had the Browns, Steelers, Ravens, and the Bills. Excuse me, the Bengals. And tonight's show, or today, whenever you get this, we will do the AFC East. We will do that right now. This has, of course, the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, and the Miami Dolphins. A pretty lopsided uh, division always. It's been like that the last, excuse me, 12, 13 years, and then the Dolphins of the Wildcat came in, and then you had Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams doing their thing, but that was only a couple of year thing, and then before that, the Patriots are winning. I'm sick of the Patriots. I think everybody is that's not a Patriot fan. Sick of just continually having to see them advance in the Super Bowl, advance to the Super Bowl, or make the playoffs every freaking year. Just it gets to be tiring, and Tom Brady being 40 plus, still going, still had a 2-year extension, and that's what we'll start with. Tom Brady still going, and no matter who he has around him, still doing stuff, still making the right reads and throwing for accuracy and getting protection, which is the main thing. Oh sure, um, they were champs last year. They defeated LA, and it was probably the most boring Super Bowl there's ever been. And I wasted my time. I could have got some sleep. Um, I could have done something with my life those 3 or 4 hours. Halftime show was okay. I had Big Boy, but missed Andre 3000, of course. That's pretty much what I remember. And what was it? Moon 5 was there, among others. It was really good. It was really good. But you gotta stop this Tom Brady guy, man. As I get rid of the ads here. Ugh. Um, so Tom Brady's still going. He has great running backs behind him. Sonny Mitchell, James White. He has what I call football. Burkhead is listed as a tailback, but I call him a fullback. As well as Mike Devlin, or James Devlin, I believe that's how you say it, James Devlin. He's a good player as well behind the line and making blocks and whatnot. A good guy. Receivers, they still have Edelman, still going, still making those clutch catches down the middle, still making it happen. Um, Dorsett is there. Daenerys Thomas, he's just another piece they added for cheap with the Patriots. He's wanting a ring, and he might get it there with the Patriots. Matthew Slater on special teams, and he also catches wide receiver balls. I have Eamon from the Chargers as well, rounding out the wide receiver core. Excuse me. The one thing that Tom Brady will not have this season and however long, that Gronk will not play. He's retired. He saved his money. He, lived with his family and, doing things right, I guess. Saw him where he's really skinny, like cocaine skinny. So that was kind of scary. But he's living his best life. He's making money off the field, and he's still going with all the things that he's doing. Like he was wrestling, commercials, Tide Pods. There had to be a drink somewhere in their advertisement. But without Gronkowski, they have Benjamin Watson, who was with um, Patriots before, long time ago. Also, Lance Kendricks from St. Louis Rams, excuse me, who's bounced around. He's adding some veteran flair whenever they go too tight in. But that's going to be interesting thing to see with Tom Brady. You don't have the safety blanket anymore with Gronkowski. He was making great catches. Granted, he was hurt a lot, but when he was in there, he made a tremendous impact. I heard even somebody say he was the best tight end ever. And that could be debatable for sure. To each their own opinion. Offensive line pretty much the same, other from some leaving. So that will also be a factor. But they scout so well that you don't really notice who's on the offensive line. Uh, but the ones that have gone to other places and hoping to catch some of that Patriot magic up front. On the defensive end, on the D line, they have Danny Shelton, and then the add of Michael Bennett, who continues to play. He's a good inside force on the defensive end. People know him, love his brother too. He's in the art and grading, and both are outspoken, as we've known, and he'll fit right in with the Patriots. They've always taken in the veterans that nobody really wanted to touch, and somehow made them into either champions or made them play in the playoffs. So that's just another addition. Now the defense behind them, beyond the defensive line, the linebackers. You have Dante Hightower, still going, still good. Kyle Van Noy, he really emerged last season, clutch in the playoffs. Jamie Collins, excuse me, he really came up clutch, number 91. In the secondary, you have the McCourty brothers. You have the veteran, they're all veterans really, the McCourty brothers, and then you have the veteran Patrick Chung, still doing this thing from Oregon. And then Stephen Gilmore. All tremendous, making the secondary very, very good. They still have Gostowski, one of the best field goal kickers. If you don't count Justin Tucker, I guess Gostowski is not a bad addition to your fantasy team. If we were talking fantasy and kickers, you'd be all right with both of those guys because Brady's going to drive long drives. And I predict with the Patriots that they will win the division, no doubt about it. Barring an injury of Tom Brady, I think they'll win the division easily. This division is not good, other from New England. As I said, my team. Now, let's go down west if we're looking at a map from space. I know Chris Berman always used to say, no one circles the wagons better than the Buffalo Bills. But they've had some tough sledding. Last year they missed out on the playoffs after the 2017 appearance. They barely got in, but they did get in. They had the drought. That was gone. Thank goodness. Finally got some success underneath them. Now they have a new quarterback, a second year, Josh Allen. Loves to run, but can't throw too. But he's good combo quarterback, but still has to prove that he can be a primetime quarterback. Uh, but I don't know if he will be. We'll see about that. And the defenses in the division. The Jets are good, so I have to see how they play. And then the Patriots, of course. So I have to see how Josh Allen goes against him. So they also have Matt. I put this in, as a USC guy. Matt Barkley is backing up Josh Allen, but that's okay to find out. But, running backs, LaShawn McCoy, through personal stuff, through last couple of years being in Buffalo, he's still productive pretty much, but he has someone behind him. He has two guys behind him that could take his carries when they need something to happen. And it's TJ Yeldon, the former Jaguar, who's going to be backing up, probably be the third backup. He's younger than the other two. And then the one that we forgot to mention, or we'll mention now, Frank Gore is still going. He's he's past his years of running backs when you think about it. If running backs don't go too long past their 30s, I should have looked this up, but he's, probably almost 35, maybe even 35, I don't know, but he's still going, still wants to play. He's like Vince Carter in basketball, still wants to play, still wants to make an impact, so instead of going to a contender, he went to Buffalo, where he feels like, hey, I can get some time, I can get some carries, and I can run the ball. So we'll see what happens with that. The receivers on the side that Josh Allen will throw to, the little John Brown, he's really good. He's with the Ravens. Last couple of years was with the the Cards. Before that, small in stature, but can really zip down the field, and you don't need a big play from him. They also have Cole Beasley, who left Dallas and is happy that he's out of Dallas, and then he's seen what the Cowboys are going through, and he personally said that, yeah, I'm happy to be out there and with the organization without drama. They have a bunch of young tight ends too that they're going to work out, that they have to see in preseason who's going to be the starting two. And in my personal opinion, I always think that in a quarterback system, okay, the tight ends are going to be the safety blanket. For a quarterback that's rolling around all the time like Josh Allen's going to be, those tight ends are going to somehow have to get free. And that's going to be thing to look out for the next two preseason games for Buffalo. So their defense, the D-line, they have Star Luatui and Shaq Lawson up front. They have Lorenzo Alexander and the linebacking corps, Micah Hyde, and then Kirk Coleman is back there for the corners to save in the secondary. And another kicker that you can bank on fantasy-wise and then watching get kicks in, that would be Stephen Hauschka. He's really good. He was clutch for me a couple of years ago on the fantasy, so excuse me, he'll be the main scorer, I think, for Buffalo next season, for this season, as it was last year. So I predicted them. I have to go back on that. We know New England's going to be number one in the division. We know that. With Buffalo and New York Jets, who I'm going to break down after this, it's a give and go who will be second place. And probably won't have a shot at the wild card either. Probably won't. For the New York Jets, with their new 90s retro modern uniforms that they have. They look like the Browns. They brought back the black uh, bars and the dark green and the if you ever saw the '90s Jets, that's how they early '90s Jets and mid '90s. That's how they look before they went back to the AFL days. Um, you know, I'm a geek when it comes to uniforms, and I didn't really like these, but they got to grow on me. They gotta grow. And they say New York on there, like Cleveland. So it, I just gotta get used to them, and at least they're not Tampa Bay's, right? At quarterback, they have Sam Darnold. Who had a I don't think you can say it was a good rookie season, but he was learning on the fly because they picked him so high. So he's just thrown into the fire, and he got burned, no doubt. So the progression of Sam Darnold will continue, and the patience will be needed with that. And one thing that can upstart his passing, his yardage, they got Le'Veon Bell. Now Le'Veon held out from Pittsburgh all last season. He didn't play one game. He didn't do anything. He was gone. And he's had a year to work out, do a rap album. He is fresh. Let's just say he's fresh, and he better be ready. Le'Veon Bell, is going to get the carries. He's going to get the screen passes, the dump offs, and there's going to be a lot of third downs, and they're going to need him. They're going to need him for sure. They also have Ty Montgomery, who fell out of favor from Green Bay, and there was a game last year in LA where the Packers were playing LA, and Ty Montgomery did not make the right choice in the game. There was, I think, just before the 2-minute warning, the Rams were leading by, I think, 2 or 3 or 4. I can't remember how many points. But it was Aaron Rodgers' time, and he was going to get the ball. And Montgomery brought it out of the end zone. He was a kickoff returner. And fumbled. And basically gave Aaron Rodgers no chance to make magic happen. And the Rams went on to win an important game. So Montgomery's trying to avenge that if he's smart. And hopefully be a smarter player. Now with the Jets, that's not a real that's not a real thing they've had in the past where you get better. When you go to the Jets, you get worse and your career dies. Sadly, that's what's been happening to the Jets. You look at Brandon Marshall, who went there. He didn't work out there. Okay, their fullback is Bio Powell. He's solid. He'll need to be blocking for Le'Veon Bell. The wide receiver core pretty much the same as last year, other from Jeremiah Crowder, who's pretty good. But Robbie Anderson is there. Enuma is there as well. They have a bunch of young tight ends they got to work out and see again, just like the Buffalo Bills. The offensive line got really better, and hopefully will help Sam Darnold. They got Kelvin Beachman. They got Kalichi Olamali from the Raiders. Center, who retired, who will be their new center, is Ryan Khalil. Remember, he was with the Carolina Panthers. I believe he was the one that took an ad out in the Charlotte Observer and said that the Panthers will win the Super Bowl after losing it, I believe, and they didn't. Their defense, though, the Meadowlands, uh, is a thing to look at for the New York Jets, other from Darnold and Bell. Up front, they have Leonard Williams, Quinton Williams, the rookie, who's just he's a lovable guy already. He's so taken back that he's in the NFL. His his interviews about being in the NFL, around NFL players and his teammates. You gotta check that out. He's very he's a hospitable guy. I don't know how long that'll last, but really good, really good guy. Linebacking corp is pretty young, except C.J. Mosley. He was with the Crimson Tide. Went to drafted by the Ravens, and the Ravens lost him to the Jets, and he's trying to do something there now. The meat and potatoes of the defense here. They have this secondary of Jamal Adams, who's becoming a star back there at safety. Tremaine Johnson, he's also someone to look out for down there to stop the deep ball. And again, with the Jets, I predict they'll be second or third, but not in the wild card with the Buffalo Bills. But Jets fans, they're hoping for a little progression, because you know they're not going to win the division. They're not probably. They want to be at least close to getting a wild card, but they will not be in the playoffs, as far as I think. Now, unfortunately, we got to talk about the fourth team in the division, who I predict will be last. And that is the Miami Dolphins. And they are now looking good for the next 3 seasons after a bad year last year. At quarterback, they finally parted ways with Ryan Tannehill. He's now with Tennessee. We'll talk about him on another video. They acquired Josh Rosen in the draft. Trade their pick, and their pick turned out to be for Arizona for Kyle Murray. We'll talk about him when that comes up. They also have Fitzmagic there, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and we'll see how that quarterback controversy goes. You know, Fitz will have his run, and then he'll throw 5 or 6 picks. And then Rosen, we see too much him with Arizona, too much good with him. And remember, Arizona drafted him really high. So it's just another reclamation project the Dolphins have to deal with. And I don't know how much they can deal with, because it seems like they've been building for a while now. And they had 1 or 2 great years with Tannehill, quarterback, but then he got hurt, and that was it. So the running backs had Kenyon Drake among young others, and Drake is going to be the one to get the ball. Wide receiver core is pretty good. They have Devontae Parker and Kenny Stills. They have a lot of young tight ends, young offensive line. Linebacker for defense have Tico Alonso. He's known to be a dirty player and hit quarterback sliding and helmet hits. So we're going to look out for that again. So to sum it up, I believe that the AFC East will go the Patriots at their customary 12-4. Jets might steal a game from them. You never know. And then with the Jets and Bills for second and third place, I'll just say Jets second, Buffalo third, and Miami in last. So I wanted that to be quick and painless for the AFC East, and that's what it's going to be. And look out for my next video. We'll be previewing the AFC South, which will be interesting because there's a lot of controversy in that division. So see you next time on the chair. NFL season preview 2019 style. Bye.